I'm Lynn, and this person back here, looking really busy, that's
Arnie. So we're gonna feed the lamb.
we just walked in the barn, or I did, and I guess we've got a lamb to feed.
Two to feed, actually.
Yeah, I saw we got a Suffolk out that's still in the lambing barn, and we just had this Dorset have a lamb. So before we even get to chores, we got to deal with these lambs. Make sure they're well taken care of, even despite the fact that our bottle babies are screaming at me. That looks like a really nice lammy.
Yeah. So the secret with this is that lamb has to suck that hose down. So if we go like this, hey buddy, don't see, and see how he's sucking the hose? See? So it won't go in his air pipe. Oh, there you go.
So you are pushing it down a bit, but as he swallows, you push. It's kind of like delivering a lamb, except in reverse.
But if he's not sucking the hose, there's a possibility it can go in his lungs. So he's got to suck, eh?
Yeah, it's not advisable to tube lambs that don't have their heads up and are alert.
See how hungry he is?
Yeah, and when he's hungry like that, they actually can feel it going in their stomach, and it stimulates them to get up and nurse even quicker.
We're going to do chores, so we're going to keep going here. So we're going to get some warm milk in them. And she's got nice teats on her.
Do you want me to check her?
Yeah, check her. I didn't check her yet.
Oh, that was a big plug.
Yeah, I didn't open it up yet.
There. Nice teats. Milk on both sides. One of them had a fairly large plug. They have a little waxy plug at the end of their teats so that bacteria and stuff don't get inside their udder. And it's always advisable to give every ewe that has a lamb a little squeeze to get that plug out, because sometimes a lamb will suck and can't get the plug out, so won't get any milk. This is dipping the umbilical cord with iodine. That also stops infections. What, boy or girl?
It's an investment, honey.
Oh no, another girl.
We're still in business next year.
Yeah, still in business.
So I just took the lamb off. She had a little hard time getting it off.
That's a big lamb.
It's a big lamb. She's not a real big ewe, actually.
No, she's smaller.
I didn't check her for a second one, so I'm going to guess she doesn't have a second one.
She doesn't look like it.
But I'm here for a few minutes, so I'll keep my eye on her.
Actually, well, I don't see a placenta, Arnie.
What?
I don't see a placenta.
Oh, do you want me to check her?
No, we're here. I'd just keep an eye on her.
Okay. Well, we got another ewe here to bring in.
So this ewe who had the big lamb and adopted one, she's feeling a little off her feed. So I've been topping those two up, and they're, as you can see, they're hopping around and doing great. And then we had this one last night.
2 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
The graveyard shift.
Is she, that's not radar, is it? Oh, she's got 2 of them.
Now, I'll tell you what the problem with this sheep is. See what the problem is?
Yeah, extremely huge nipple.
There's a funny story about that, eh?
What's the funny story, Arnie?
You know, you wonder how we altered the breeds all the time, eh? I used to milk cows, eh? But 100 years ago, if you didn't have big teeth, you would actually call the cow because you couldn't milk it with your hands. You had that big teeth. When we got machines that came into the dairy industry, we actually called all the big teeth, and we actually wanted small teeth.
Yeah,
But with this,
I believe that.
With this sheep here, I don't think that's a real problem. She could feed quads. She's got so much milk. Okay.
They just have to get on it.
But I think when we take the pressure off those teats, she'll do fine. But she'll need a little extra help today.
Here, let me just see if I can get that lamb on right now. I got one of her lambs on anyway, and it's nursing away. So we got another lamb in the barn coming in, so I'll just leave these guys to figure it out. wave starts, it doesn't take long to fill up the jugs. We're at the last one on this side now. So we got another ewe that has to come out of the lambing area. She's just had a lamb. She's walking out. Oh. She looks a little nervous. But she's talking to the lamb. You can hear her talking the whole time.
The last time I did that, you wouldn't get up and I went right over top of it.
So you have to stay in, honey. This might be, is that Rachel? Well, I'm thinking it might be Rachel. I'll have to check that. Obviously a first timer. You can just tell by their mannerisms. They're a little confused about the whole process. See how the other lambs are distracting her? And now she ran back to the pen where she knows is her home. You don't see lambs who have had sheep who have had lambs before don't behave this way, so that's how we can tell she's a first timer. She doesn't quite know the routine. A little excited. But she's in there now, and that is why we have the jugs, like I said. Give some time to calm down, relax, get to know her lamb, and all the pressures are off her. All she has to do is spend time with her lamb.
I love this job.
What?
I love this job.
Oh, I thought you said I love this job.
The what?
I thought you said I love this job. You do love your job too, don't you?
Are we on camera?
Yes, we're.
Okay.
So we highly suspect that this one has another lamb. So while she's in here, he's gonna tip her over. Some people don't tip them over. They'll just stick their hand in standing up. But it really is beneficial for everybody involved to tip them over. It's easier to check. Okay, so that sack you see there is just her placenta coming out. He says there's no other lamb.
The reason why I like to tip them over, because when you tip them over like that, that lamb actually just pushes right to the back, and you can easily feel it. If she's standing up, the lamb could be way down there, and I don't want to go in there that far.
Yeah, it's amazing how far a reach it can be sometimes, and you don't want to be reaching all the way in there.
But I'm going to get some milk for that lamb. Oh, and check the teeth if you want.
I'm pretty sure this is absolutely a first timer.
Lots of milk on that side.
Yeah, first timers usually always have lots of. What's the matter? Sporting the farmer fashion of placenta after birth and all types of bodily fluids.
You know you're pretty bad in 4 days with the same pants on. I could actually smell myself at breakfast time.
You think you can smell yourself at breakfast this time? Really?
Yeah. It's not a city job. I'm not a lawyer.
So we're on to that ewe now, doing the same thing, tubing this lamb as well. We always tube the first feeding. Someone last night asked me why we don't just give them a bottle for the first feeding, because other YouTubers do that. And there is a really good reason for that. Well, there's a few good reasons, actually. You just watched us tube 2 lambs from 2 different moms, and you saw how quick it was. So one of the reasons is that it is a very quick process. Another reason is when we feed them this colostrum, we are feeding them a fixed amount, the amount they need to start, which is usually about 150 mils of colostrum. We find that's a good start for them. If you feed them a bottle, the problems with that are, one, not all lambs will take a bottle. Two, if they drink it slowly, it can take a really long time. And then the milk's going to start to get cold. And they may not drink the full amount that they need. They might just take a few sips. Like anything under 150 mils really isn't enough. So with the tubing, we can guarantee how much they get. We can guarantee they get it. They get it in a really quick, timely manner, which will, again, in these temperatures, start to get their engine roaring. So their body will warm up. They will become energized. It will encourage them to get up and nurse more quickly. But because their belly is fairly full, it gives them a lot of time to figure out where the nipple is and stuff. And because their engine's going in these cold temperatures, it helps to heat them up so that they won't go hypothermic. Another problem with feeding a bottle, if you know it's not going to be a bottle baby, like if you know it is going to be a bottle baby, I can see giving it a bottle the first time. But these mums have plenty of milk. These are healthy lambs. These will not be bottle babies. And if you feed a bottle, it can actually cause nipple confusion because the sucking process for feeding a bottle or nursing off your mom are two different things. And by feeding a bottle to a healthy lamb, you could actually confuse it so it can't figure out how to nurse off its mom, or you may have to teach it to nurse off its mom. So better not to interfere. Tubing is not interfering because it's not something that the lamb is naturally going to be doing, right? So that is why we tube rather than feed a bottle at first. But you can see, this is a first-time mom. She's she's talking to her lamb, the lamb next door, who's also a first-time mom here. Her lamb is up now as well. He's bunting at the gate because, yes, the colostrum stimulated it to get going. So, like I say, lambs can take a while to find the nipple. So it's going to butt around at a gate, at the wall, at mom's chest, in her face, on her udder, until it actually finds the nipple. So at least we know that if he's got a belly full, he's got it a good 4 hours before he needs more feeding, and by that time he should have long figured out how to nurse off mom. And once they've had their babies, we give them water, and this water is warm water. We find again that you should feed warm water to the ewes after they've had a lamb. Just because of the shock to the system. If you put cold water out or warm water in two different pails, you'll see they'll go for the warm water first. So that's what we do. This is the mom in this pen with the twin lambs. Most of the lambs tend to lie under the feeders or very close to being under the feeder. But this one's lambs lay in the center of the pen, and we're constantly moving them because lambs that lay in the center of the pen tend to be the ones that get laid on by mom. And you can see she's got one snuggled at her backside and one snuggled under her head. But we always worry about the ones that don't snuggle under the feeder. Like over here, we got one nursing, but the sister is asleep under the feeder there. Mom can't step on her or lie on her under there. So now that the 2 newborns are taken care of, we are going to start morning chores, which involves getting everyone their water, and feeding all the bottle babies, and feeding hay to the moms. Water pails are fed, and right now I'm just recording everybody into my logbook, the ones that were born yesterday, seeing if they got boys and girls, who the dad is, who the mom is, and I'll be writing the number on her back. But she got nervous, so she dove under the feeder to lay down with the lambs. And she's the one with the really big nipple. So I brought a lamb over here, and while she's lying there, the lamb is nursing on her nipple. She's got lots of milk. But you can see it's a really big nipple. It'll go down in size once the lambs take the pressure off it. So it's good that she's laying there quietly. I'll just make sure he nurses for a few minutes before I move on. She has a boy and a girl, and the 2 singles were girls. So this ewe that just had a lamb that we thought was a first timer, she's not a first timer, she's a second timer. But the reason she's acting nervous and maybe a little confused is I just scanned her, and that's what I have on my reader about her. She sat on her lamb last year and it died before tagging. So that's to show you we do give them second chances, because they really don't know what they're doing when they do that. It's just a terrible accident. But here's hoping that she has much better luck with this one. I went back to the milk house and actually reread this girl's history. On the reader it says she sat on the lamb and it died. But prior to that happening, she had gone berserk and was hitting the lamb and going crazy, so we had the lamb separated from her so she couldn't hurt it, and kept reintroducing it to her so that the lamb could nurse and stuff. And so technically we marked her as being sat on because we found the lamb dead in the morning. You guys might remember it, those of you who've been following me for a year now. So we're not sure if she hit the lamb and killed it or if she sat on it and killed it. But regardless, her lamb died. And occasionally you do have a ewe that goes into labor and the hormones go into crazy overdrive and they do really weird things. You could see her when we took her out of the pen. She was a little wilder looking. So when I read that, the lamb was laying against the fence here sleeping. So I quietly moved it right next to her just to make sure that she bonds with this lamb. But you can see she's not berserk at all this year. But she is a little nervous, I can see. She's not overly licking the lamb, but she has been licking it. So that's why we keep records, because things like that, if you didn't have that written down, you might just assume she's got a single and not even pay any attention to her. But because I know she has a history, we will watch her a little closely to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And it shouldn't, but it is good to know. Despite it raining now, this group of Suffolks will be going over to the Coverall today. We will be using the trailer though. So because that family pen is going to be free today, before I headed over to the Coverall, I just tagged 2 lambs that were born the day before yesterday. One is a single here from Geronimo. And the other one was the first one that started the next wave with her twins. So this afternoon, these two ewes will go out and join the family pen. Nobody else is ready for the family pen yet, so it'll be just two in that group today. We're in the coveralls now, and I just discovered Chin Chin. Hey, Chinny. It's really hard to see the little chin mark on her. There she is. Chinny! Chinny! Hi! You got a chin mark. Hi, it looks like you have a little beard. You're very pretty. Here comes some more bedding. As you can probably hear, it's pouring rain right now. Feels like jolly old England. But at this time of year, I'd rather have rain than snow, I think. Well, here's the mob again. This is the same mob group as the other day, but they're getting another bale of bedding. You guys are a mob. Okay, here they go. This is the older Dorset pen. Not by much, only a few weeks, but still older. Leaving the feed trough is never something they want to do. Look at that big guy having an itch against the wall over here. That big lamb, look at him. He's having a little scratch. Hey, buddy. Hi. Who are you? Oh, and you're a big fellow. You're a really big fellow. Were you having a scratch? You guys are done again. And the younger group's just getting a little bit of the leftover straw. I wanted to show you one of my top-up girls. This one here. Hi. Come here. Come look in the camera. It's so hard to see when they're black. Yes, you're very attractive. She's the prettiest little Suffolk. Well, she's actually not little. She's a big girl. Just did the Suffolk side now. And we got a major rain going on out there. At least these guys are nice and dry. And we got a run between coveralls. Hi, you look very nice. You must be a bottle baby. I can tell by your grubby face. Yes, you look very cute. You're a nice lammy, I can see that. I can see how nice you are. Yeah. You're very, very handsome. See how they snuggle down in the fresh bedding? Nobody wants to lie in muck. Hi. This one's particularly excited about the whole thing. That mom is trying to feed her lambs, and at the same time a steeler's trying to take off her too. Are you having a hard time, Mommy? Are they abusing you? Hi. Are you getting clean bedding too? It's nice, isn't it? My favorite Dorset ram just got called in. His mom was calling for him. There he is. Chores took longer this morning, so we're gonna finish off the rest of morning chores after lunch. We're just gonna bring this little bit of leftover bedding over to the main barn because the Dorsets are dirty. Seems like this morning we got more than a video's worth of footage, so I'm heading out, and it's the afternoon now, and we're going to be bringing sheep over to the new coverall, but that will be for the next video tomorrow. So thank you for watching today, and I hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the next episode at Ewetopia Farms. Bye for now.